Hello, everybody. Laura back again. That really doesn't work when it comes up and tells me that my video's been running for over a minute before I can tell that I can talk. Hello, Miss Venus. Are you coming down to walk in front of the computer? Gee, how did I know that was going to happen? Down. You're going to go get in a chair? Yeah, I kind of figured that's what you're going to do because I'm sitting in the one she usually sleeps in. So she's going to sit in mine. Okay. Yes, you can go in the bedroom too. Both windows are open because it's hot in here. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Sue. Thank you for being here. Suzanne saw Venus. She's trying to get to the window and just make sure she doesn't break anything in the process. I don't think you can jump up there. You're going to have to go the other way. Good girl. She did it. She wanted to go up to the window. I'm sorry if you can hear the cars on the road outside. It's 73 degrees in here, and I was starting to sweat. So I had to open the windows. And I mean, I opened the one in the bedroom, like at least that far, and the one in the living room, oh, about that far. So I'm cooling it off in here. Okay, yeah, I lost my hook. There it is. I am taking a little miniature break from my tank top because I'm on a crucial I'm on a crucial I'm at a crucial point. There we go in the pattern, and I don't have time right now to sit down and try and read the pattern. So I'm working on something else. Excuse me. I did take my pills an hour ago. I am making another cocoon cardigan. Only this time I'm using these colors. See how pretty? Behave, Venus. No, no, silly. Yeah, I had to move your bed. I got an early Christmas present today. Oh, really? What did you get? Oh, it's the second half of your. No, I think you already got that. But if it's the kind of gift that you can't open, she won't tell us if it's that kind of gift, right? So it's hot in my apartment. I did have the oven on, which is probably why it made it 73 degrees. I did remember to turn off the oven. At least that was a plus in my book. Forgot, or I remembered to turn it off. There we go. Instead of forgetting. Um, oh, well, I had to use it to make dinner, so I have lunch for tomorrow. I have to set my alarm for earlier tomorrow, though, than I'm used to. So, oh, excuse me. Blue, blue, blue. Mine, mine, mine. Mine, mine. Mine, 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 mine. Yes, I know. I forgot I had this yarn, and but it's okay because I decided that I was going to use it to make another cocoon cardigan, and I already have uh, somebody who wants it, so and is willing to pay for it. I wish it's a lot cooler here, but it could be worse. Some years we've already seen snow at this point in the season. I know it. Supposedly we were going to get snow last week, but I don't think snow fell. So it was really cold though. It was for my non-existent narrow table that I use for my desk. It was for my non-existent narrow table that I use for my desk. Oh, right. Okay. I remember the table. I don't remember. Oh, excuse me. I don't remember what you were getting for it though. Oh, I think we hit 50 or 52 degrees today. So it was a nice enough day in the end. But yeah, to get my apartment to 73, that's just and there's no way to cool it down unless I uh open my windows. My fans run 24/7. I have a ceiling fan in my dining room and ceiling fan in my bedroom. They run 24/7. They almost never get turned off. And when I got told off about how there was no way she was going to be there was no way she was going to be giving me uh, a portable AC when it was already uh, so close to winter. That was a few weeks ago, though. Now we finally have our heat working. Knock on wood, cross my fingers. We've already had 3 frost advisories. I think we've had at least 2. So yeah, I know what you mean. But yes, everything that looked like was coming, and IKEA monitor stand with a small drawer. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. If you ever told me. Hi, Lynette. Thank you for being here. Not sure what that was. Probably a piece of popcorn kernel. I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, I know. It's not, it's not, it was a beautiful fall day though. We've technically already had a freeze, but I only have light damage on most of the plants I covered, except the coleus. I don't know if I said that right. Should have brought that in. Sorry, my brain went off on a tangent. I have to be quiet for a minute to get away from the thoughts it was delving into. I had to clear my rose bush, which has 10 buds on it. Yes, I know. I have seen lilac bushes with lilacs blooming on them, only up on the top. Nothing that's down too low, but up on the top. Lilac bushes with oh, the cat's throwing up or something anyway. Where are you? Oh, all right. Walk away from it, Venus. Sorry about that. I was right. I don't know why she decided to do it right now. Oh, you know, she's just a cat. Yes, yes, she's just a cat. Plants are confused by the weather. That's exactly, and too much is off. Things are just too off. Instead of winter, we have a wet, rainy spring. We're not getting snow out here. I'm in the plains of the United States. It's, we should be getting snow. We should be getting bitter cold temperatures. Bitter, bitter, as in minus 60 or higher wind chill factors. The highest I remember in the 20 years I've lived here was in like the second or third year we were here, and it was minus 75 wind chill factor. Okay. And we had snow swirling, and we were in the middle of a blizzard, swirling, blowing, and it blew in underneath my engine and all up and around, and just filled the whole underneath the hood, just filled it up full of snow. We got hairball. Yes, that's the other thing but I couldn't remember what to call it. It's exactly right. It was, knowing her. Um, but we finally got the hood up, and it was just coated in snow under it. And oh man, that poor car did not want to turn over. I had some friends come over, and uh, they attached a battery charger to the battery. But yeah, in order to, sorry, one, one tong, whatever, I can't think of the clamp, whatever. Anyway, went to the battery, one of the leads on the battery, the other one went on the frame of the car. And that is how uh, we managed to get the snow, which was basically ice at this point. It was just ice crystals stuck together, ice crystals, to melt while the battery was charging. Finally got the car to turn over. Oh boy. Uh, that's just one that I remember. I don't remember if this minus 75 wind chill was the same time or not, because usually the wind chill is not that bad during a snowstorm when you got the clouds holding the warmth in. Anyway, wow, I've seen a high for the day of minus 18 once when I was young. Lately, the worst wind chill was about 30 below zero. That was pretty awful in an old house. Yeah, exactly. So it was minus 75 in an old house. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but yes, you're right. The plants are confused by the weather. That's exactly right. Everything is screwed up. Everything is out of kilter. Everything is up. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it has to be global warming, but things are not the way they're supposed to be. Okay. And in that, I mean, the last 15 years have not been like the previous 15 years. Now, I know that our planet fluctuates. And yes, things could be coming back around. It's usually uh, it's usually a 20 to 25 year. So 20 years of this, 25 years of this, 25 years of that, 25 years of this, 25 years of that. I'm being very simplistic here. So don't, uh, I did a coast to coast move in January. Now that was a cold trip. Yeah. Especially if it was any time between the uh, 90 something and now. Okay, 90 something and 20 years ago. Anyway, But yeah, it's 15 years ago. Things have changed. Things are not what they used to be. And I'm looking back at what I remember in my lifetime, even living in two different states, three different states, Colorado, Washington, and now Iowa. Um, that just it's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. We may be moving back towards that, but anyway, I'm not going to say that it's global warming, but something is definitely screwed up. Okay. And I would like to see whatever is screwed up get back on track because people, we've got to have water. If we don't have water, this doesn't work. This doesn't work without water. Growing plants doesn't work without water. Growing animals doesn't work without water. Processing animals doesn't work without water. Feeding cats doesn't work without water. Hi, baby. She's going to jump up on the table. Hello, Venus. Everybody saying hi. Oh, don't sit on that. I know I moved stuff. Honey, just go sit in the chair, okay? Mama's got stuff she's got to take care of tonight. She knows it. She's going to come back, jump on the table a different way. And if you knock my Centro off and break it, we're going to have a problem, aren't we, Venus? We traveled across the U.S. and northern states. Yeah. Yep. I understand. And I have been to some northern states, not all of the ones on the East Coast. I think I've hit all the ones across the middle of the U.S. Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan. I think I've covered everything across the middle of the U.S. Oh, I know. We've been having a drought. The fall rains are helping some, but I know the water table is not back to normal. No, it's not. It's not. Even though some places it feels like it is, it's still not because it's not what it needs to be all over. And when it goes up too fast, that's when you end up having floods. And what happens when you have floods? All the water goes somewhere else, doesn't it? It doesn't stick around. It goes downstream. It spreads out and then it all goes downstream. Okay, not all of it, but I think you get my picture. Anyway, enough of that. Like you said, I'm not going to I'm not going to say that it is definitely one thing or another. But yeah, it's not right. Things are off kilter. And we need to have some good snow. We need to have a really cold winter with lots of snow. The entire country needs this. Okay? Think about where the water comes from. Okay, there's this thing called the Great Divide from Minnesota to Washington State. Yep. Oh yeah, Minnesota. Right. Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota. Yeah, yeah, I know it. I just pulled up the drought monitor website, and as of last Tuesday, we're still considered to be in extreme drought in my location. Yeah. Okay, there's this thing called the Great Divide. We're going to have a little uh, geography lesson. Everybody know where the Great Divide is? One side of the Great Divide, the water goes west. On the other side of the Great Divide, the water goes east. How far east does that water go? Not very far. If it makes it out far enough, it goes to the Missouri River. If it doesn't make it that far, it goes south. North Dakota? Nope, not the Mississippi. Nope, it goes to the Missouri River. The Great Divide is between my wallet and my bills. True that. No, the Great Divide. The Great Divide is in the Rocky Mountains. I said state, and that was my mistake. It's in the Rocky Mountains. Every time I go home on the roads, it's like it's okay. You've reached the top of the Great Divide. This side of the water goes to the Missouri and the Missouri River, and then if it doesn't make it that far, then it goes down to down into Texas. Can't think of what I'm trying to say, but on the other side, it goes all the way out to California. I love it, Lynette. That's awesome. That's a good one. Anyway, but yeah, it's in the Rocky Mountains. I made the mistake of saying which state because it's not true. There's more than one state. I'm in northern New England. Have you heard of a movie? The name is, I think, Where the Waters Flow North. We have to be different up here, apparently. Actually, there is also a river in South Dakota that, due to the uh, elevation of the places the water flows through, it comes down and then it turns north. No, I said that wrong. It comes down and then it turns north. I, I'm mixing it all up because I'm trying to remember the location and how it comes through. Anyway, it comes north and then it turns up further, up a little bit further north than the park, and then it comes down. But it's just because of the levels, the elevations of the levels that it goes through. So yeah, it does. It loops. It, I can't remember where it starts, but anyway, it comes down, then it goes back out. But yes, it loops exactly. So it's not a true flowing north. But you're right. You're right. You're right. It's not a true flowing north, but it is a loop. Uh, well, when I was in Chicago, well, that was a while back. When I was in Chicago, we walked along the Chicago River. Oh, my hips hadn't been so screwed up oh, that was hard on my hips. Anyway, um, and they were talking about how uh, I don't even know how we heard this or read it or whatever. But anyway, they have the locks at the end of the Chicago River, okay, because they don't want the water in the lake to flow back up the river and flood certain areas of Chicago and further north. Sound familiar? Well, sort of. Anyway, talk about water flowing north, right? That's always an interesting concept when things are messed up, when things are off in places. I remember them talking about how the lake, and I don't remember who we were hearing this from, but I remember them talking about the lake and how it has shifted west. So instead of eating up the shore on the Indiana side, it was eating up the shore on the Chicago side. literally coming in by feet in a year, 2 or 3 feet being eaten away. And anyway, there's one place, it's just north of Chicago, um, had a really nice beach. And I was told that the building that was there, and I don't remember what it housed. I don't even think it was restrooms. I think it was something else. But anyway, it might have been restrooms. I can't remember. But that building that was there, the foundation was starting to the sand, sand and dirt foundation was starting to be eroded away. So they're having to bring in truckloads of dirt and sand and put it down and pad it down to try and keep this building from falling over into the lake. Well, then I was told, well, the other thing, concession stand, I don't remember exactly, was like 20 feet into the water. And because they hadn't done anything about it at the time that the sand and dirt were eroding away, that one fell in. So I thought that was just I thought that was just crazy. Okay, not crazy, but I just thought it was amazing. How's that? I thought yes, erosion, natural erosion. I thought it was amazing. But it used to be that the waters would erode away the sand on the other side of the lake in Indiana and Michigan. And now it's shifted and it's eating away at the sand and other things on the Chicago side now. It was just north of Chicago. I can't remember the name of the area. It had been a campground. It had been a campground. Um, it would have been cool to stay there, but in the end, I'm glad we didn't because they had built this big sand dirt mound, right? So the campground's way down here, and then they've got the walking path up here, and over here is the little bit of beach that's left, and the water of the lake because it's just moving in and moving in and moving in to the point where it's almost to this hill, man-made hill, to keep the water from flooding because it would have just flooded this whole area out if they hadn't, if that hill, that man-made hill, I can't think of the right word, help me, things that hold, it's not a dam, it's, I can't think of the right word. Anyway, it was a beautiful area, and I wish that it wasn't being slowly eroded away, but they had been bringing in sand, truckloads of sand and dirt and dumping it down there. And then, of course, the kids would play in it. And of course, it would end up washed out into the lake. But it was starting to show the bottom of the building again because it was slowly disappearing. And that was 10 years ago, folks. I wonder how much of that is left. I'll bet you there's no beach there anymore. I'll bet you just walk across the top of it. Waukegan is in that area. Might have been in that area. I couldn't tell you without looking through my paperwork, and I have no clue if I even have my paperwork from that trip anymore. I know that we stayed in a campground northwest of Chicago because we drove down and got on the train and rode the train out into Chicago for the day in Chicago. It was a fun trip. It was a fun trip. But yeah, anyway, it really makes me wonder how much of that area is still there because if it's gotten to the point in 10 years where it's just that hill that's now being eroded away. Oh boy, are they going to have problems if they've let it get that close. Because all it's got to do is have one small breakthrough and the whole area gets flooded. I know we as human beings like to be close to the water. I love to be close to the water, especially the oceans. Pacific, Gulf. I love when I would go down to Florida. Oops, did I do that wrong? I think I did that wrong. I think it goes like that. There we go. That looks more like what I've been doing. It might have been Waukegan. That actually sounds familiar, but I don't. I mean, I saw so many street signs, and I mean not street signs, but city signs when we traveled all over that. Then we drove up to Milwaukee. That's the first time I'd ever been in Wisconsin with that trip. Oh shoot, I messed up. All right, you move over there. Let's see if I can salvage this one. I just pulled out too much. Figures. Northeast of Chicago. Yeah, northeast of Chicago was where we went to the lake. Northwest of Chicago was where we camped. And after seeing the area that I wanted to have to get uh, a camping site, I was glad I hadn't been able to get a campsite there. So yeah, I mean, all different forms of changes in our environment and all natural changes, don't get me wrong, except for those things that human beings have done that have caused damage to our environment. Don't get me wrong there either. I like the niceties, the time savers, all the stuff that I'm not even technology's not even what I was trying to say. Industrial revolution has given us just, I'm grateful for the time savers so that I have time to design, time to play, time to, watch TV. There you go. There's another part of technology and even industrial revolution, because if we hadn't had what we had come before, we wouldn't have what we have now, flat screen TVs. No, your old stomping grounds. Okay. Now I'll have to look it up and see if I can find it. But Waukegan does sound familiar. I just don't know for sure because it's been 10 years since I've been down there. I mean, been over there, so. I still have not had a breakthrough on how to do tools of the trade. So let me just say, send me a picture of one tool of your trade, of your craft, or of your, but only send me one picture. Tell me what it is. Tell me what you do with it. Okay? And do you want me to say um, you want me to say what your craft is? Once you exited the Great Lakes Navy housing. You were in Waukegan. Huh. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll have to look. We'll have to talk about this later. Um, but yeah, things are different. Things have changed. Things have adjusted in ways that I'm not sure are good. But like I said, I'm a scientist. In the past, I've said I'm a scientist, and the changes I've seen over the last 59, no, 49 years. Um, the changes I've seen and noticed in our weather patterns over the last 49 years. I don't remember much before I moved to the mountains. Well, hello, Miss Lydia. Thank you for being here, honey. Um, just, and that's just my lifetime. I'm sure it's, I'm sure it's more obvious to somebody who's even older than me and is a scientist or some type of person who watches the weather over time, not just meteorologists, but like farmers. They have to worry about the weather. They have to know what should be happening, what might be happening in the way of storms after so many days of hot summer sun and no rain. You gonna go put water on those? You're gonna go water those plants? No, that's not how they work. But in the crop circles, the no, I know you haven't, but you've had the uh, ability. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but you've been around. That's what I'm trying to say. You've been all over the world. You've been to more places than I've been. I only made it to one country that was not the United States of America, and that was Canada. All the places I would have loved to have gone, but that's okay. Yeah, 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 okay. All right. Anyhow, I'm thinking if y'all just send me one picture of one item that's a tool of your trade, and if you've got, like I had one hero hook, and I didn't realize how rare they were, and accidentally gave it away. If you've lived in a farm area and not ever moved far away, you have a lot of accumulated knowledge. No, we don't irrigate that way here. I don't know of anybody irrigating soybeans or corn here. Yeah, but they do out here where I am. with the and even out towards Colorado, Nebraska and Colorado, they also have to spray the crops, whichever way they choose to do it. But yeah, you get what I'm saying then. Oh, excuse me. Oh, so tired. Yes, I've only I've only flown through Canadian airspace. Does that count? Um, I've only flown through American airspace, and not to Hawaii either. I went to Canada 3 different times, I think, and all when I lived out in Washington. So anyway, whoops, dropped that stitch. Um, if I get more than 5 pictures total, I will create the very first installment of Tools of the Trade. I will add a couple pictures of my own. Oh, that's what I was getting at. If you have like a different or a unique type of the irrigate crops with a moving frame. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Oh, wait, yes, right, right. Duh. Yes, it's exactly right. The moving thing. The moving frame. Yes, that's right. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Tahiti, England, New Zealand, and of course Australia, and driven down to Mexico. See, I never got to Mexico. I never got to Mexico. I think the closest I got to Mexico was Disneyland. I was 8 years old, so I didn't even know about San Diego at the time. But I wish we'd gone down to San Diego. Then I could have said I've been to San Diego, California. Oh well. I've been to Disneyland and Disney World, Disney World's my favorite. I think my flying days are over. I thought my flying days were over. Probably should think about getting a suitcase in case I need to do it again. Who lived in San Diego? Um, in one of my past lives, I had a timeshare in Mazatlan, bought a house in San Diego. Yeah, I didn't even get that far south. I'd have to look at a map to be able to make that assurance, but um, I know I got down in southwestern, southeastern, uh, Arizona at one point, and then I know I've been uh, down in airports in Texas, mind you, but I remember flying out over the Gulf, but huh, I don't remember. Out of Texas, but I don't remember for sure. Actually, it was two houses on one lot. You got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. So I get that. Hi, cool gamer. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's been it's been a hard weekend. My back got really, really sore last week, and whatever was going on, it settled down into my hips, not just my low back, but it settled down into my hips, and I had extremely tight muscle in my left thigh. So naturally, I've been to Disneyland as well as Knott's Berry Farm. I went there. I went to Knott's Berry Farm. Same time we went to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Amusement Park, and Six Flags Magic Mountain. Never been to Six Flags though. Never been to a Six Flags. But I do remember going to Knott's Berry Farm Amusement Park. They might have changed the name, but who knows? This was back in the 70s that I went, so anyway, if you'll send me one picture of a tool of your trade, tell me what it is and what it does. It's a crochet hook. It can't do anything on its own. So what does it do? Well, it makes loops in the yarn and pulls the yarn through other loops in the yarn and makes knots in the yarn, making stitches. Okay, I know what a crochet hook is, but you get the point, I hope. And just because I might know what something is in somebody else's craft doesn't always mean that I know exactly how it works. My son won tickets to Disneyland the day before we were leaving to go there. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice though. In the 70s, I was just a wee nipper. I know you were, but I was too. Of course, you were younger than me back then, but that's okay. No, I went to Disneyland and Knott's Berry in 73. So I was a whole 8 years old. Okay. Oh, we've got 7 people here. Oh my gosh. I think that 7 or 8's the highest I've been in a while. Oh, it just dropped back down to 5. That tool is foreign to me now. That tool is foreign to me. Oh. Anyway, if you send me some pictures of your tools of of the trade, of your trade, the segment's going to be called Tools of the Trade. Tools of the Trade. And I need to know what it is, how it's used, or what it does. I had less than an hour to drive across town to pick up the tickets. I was flying low, so to speak. Wow. Yeah, you were. Uh, and let's see, it's the 3rd. So if I can get some pictures by, oh, the 15th. If I have more than 5 pictures by the 15th, I will create a segment and it will be November's Tools of the Trade. Any pictures I get after the 15th of the month will go to the next month, unless I don't get enough, because I'm going to add a couple of my own, at least one of my own. So I need 5. That needs make 6. That makes the video almost 2 minutes. No, not even. It makes it a little over a minute. When I was just 3 years old, I know, sweetheart. in a different country and a different time. I know it. I know it. Okay. Well, it's been good. I managed to talk without almost nodding off. So it was a good live. We had a good number of people in here. It's been a while since I've seen the numbers in 7 or 8. So I like that. And I've about finished off this ball of yarn. Not much left. And I have a few things I need to do so that I can get ready for tomorrow. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's Tuesday, Laura. It's a good thing I remembered, or I would have screwed up my schedule in the morning. All right, everybody. Kisses, hugs. Yes, I just want one picture. And Sue doesn't need to send me any. Yep, just one pic. I've got a few from Sue, and then I've got my own. So I just need a total of 3 more pictures. So just anybody, just send me a picture of tools of your trade, tools of your craft. I'm creating a new segment on Laura's Yarn Talk. So, all right, bye. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. See you later.